we got to the meditation technique. What is important in meditation? First, you need to take the correct position. You should sit down. The ideal variant is if you can sit on the floor. It will be a bit worse if you do not have an opportunity to sit on the floor, but then you can meditate sitting on a chair. Then, the most important thing is that your spine should be straight. There should be a straight line from your tailbone to the top of your head. First time your lumbar may pain, but over time you will adapt for it, and your muscles will train eventually, and you will sit calmly in meditation for 10, 15, 20 or 30 minutes. Now your legs. If you cannot sit down in a half lotus or lotus, then you just do the Turkish position or a crossed-leg position. If you succeed, you can throw one leg up, for example, the way I do. The first time you will not be able to lower it. It only comes with practice, with regular training. When I sat down for the first time, my leg hung quite high enough and did not lower, and it hurt at the same time. But over time, I did warm-up exercises every day, every time before meditation. Now I will show it to you, and finally I reached this position. Well, I was very inflexible, but now I can even do the bridge position, I can sit in the lotus position, and this is very easy for me. Despite the fact that I did not put on any super efforts, all I did was just spending 3 minutes each time before meditating. In fact, I did not succeed in the lotus position at first. It took me about a year and a half to sit quietly and sit throughout all the meditation in this position. If you start meditation and sit in a half lotus position in this way, then after a few minutes your leg may get tired. And if you cannot stand it any longer, it will be better to lower it forward like this. Or if you are even very tired in this position, for example, you can straighten one leg or both. It's important not to cause harm. You mustn't do the thing that brings you suffer. Now concerning the technique, the warm-up technique. You can do this exercise, pull one leg forward, put the other one on this leg, and swing your knee in this way, gradually, gently to the level to which it lowers. Gradually it will get lower and lower. It is not necessary to do this for the first 2 weeks. Maybe it will take you a month to lower your leg. The main thing, if the practice is regular, then 100% after some time you will sit in a half lotus and then a lotus. You need to do this regularly. Do the same thing with your second leg. Then you can pull up your leg like that, to the chest or to the head. You can also do the next exercise. When you laid your leg, pull your toes on and bend your body, lean into that leg, helping with your hands. You can try to throw your leg over the head if you are skilled enough. I did these 2 exercises in general. I lowered my leg and leaned over my leg, and I reached flexibility of the body gradually. Now, after you have taken the correct position, for example with crossed legs or in lotus, then you are sure that your spine is straight. Close your eyes. No, wait, we won't do that yet. Fold your hands and put in front of you. There is such a stereotype that you need to meditate like this, okay? And put your hands like this, but I do not know what kind of meditation it is. The basic technique of meditation is done like this. You close your eyes and fold your tongue in a half. That is, here is your tongue, and you fold it against the upper palate like this. Fold it. First time it is very unusual and inconvenient, but over time you get used to it and then you do not notice it. You just sit down and your tongue is ready to be automatically folded. The first time can be difficult. In general, when we study, we always have some difficulties. But over time you will get used to it. Each element of meditation, in fact, plays a certain role. I'm not sure if it will be explained in a very detailed way in our course, but you can also check meditationsteps.org or the YouTube channel Meditation Lessons, where there are over 400 videos. Can you imagine? More than 400 videos on meditation, yoga. How can somebody record so much material? I cannot imagine. This is a very high quality resource if you really want to learn what meditation and yoga are. This is the largest resource on YouTube on this topic, as far as I know. Now in Russia there are more than 150,000 subscribers and it is spreading abroad. Our teacher, Dada Sadananda, records videos in English and there are already more than 10,000 subscribers. So, okay, now I'm distracted to some unnecessary things. Legs, back, tongue, eyes, hands. These are the 5 elements. Everything is ready now. You took a pose. You set a timer or an alarm clock so that it does not scare you when the time comes. You start meditating. The first thing you do is relax. You just try to relax, to feel lightness in your body, if I may say lightness, because at first you will have pain everywhere. But you try to relax it. There are clamps somewhere, but you should relax them. Then you can take a few deep breaths in and out, because as soon as our breathing comes down, it becomes easier for us to concentrate. You can see it in the process of the first stage, when you relax and you can watch your breath. Take a deep breath in, then breath out, and observe, trying to relax. After just 2 or 3 minutes of such relaxation and observation of the state of your body, you begin to do the next step. The next stage, number 2, is visualization of yourself in some natural, lonely place, somewhere maybe at the top of the mountain or near the ocean. The main thing is that you have a huge view, some big, large space. The aim of this process is to forget about the limitations of our space. When we are somewhere in a room, we are locked by this space, and we'd better visually move to some place where firstly there is a great overview, and the second, where we are alone. That is, to imagine that there are no restrictions at all, no other people, no other creatures nearby. You are alone, and you have a beautiful landscape in front of you. You can imagine and listen to some sounds. You can see something, see into it. The main thing is to forget about this space. When we have done this process, we proceed to the third one, the final stage, the pronunciation of the mantra. We use mantra for meditation. Mantra means the thing that frees our mind. Our mind is constantly locked by some thoughts. We cannot concentrate on any idea profoundly, because our mind jumps from one object to another object, to a third object, to a fourth one. Thus, the mind is always dependent on some external objects. In meditation, we say mantra. The one we use sounds like that. Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba Nam Kevalam. In fact, for the first 2 weeks I sat down to meditate and I tried to remember the mantra. How does it sound? And it seems that I pronounced it in the wrong way. For example, Baba Nam I remembered, and Kevalam, I had some similar syllables. But over time, you will remember and do not need to worry that you have forgotten. You do not need to interrupt meditation. Baba, Nam, Kevalam. First, we pronounce this mantra and concentrate on the sound of each syllable. I really like this process because when I pronounced each syllable, my mind was very well focused on sound. So if I didn't even abstract well enough from my body, even if I didn't visualize myself well enough, some people cannot visualize at all. But when I said the mantra, Ba Ba Nam Kevalam, my mind focused very well on the sound. So, we pronounce and try to ensure that there is no distance between the syllables, no distraction of the mind. You can also pronounce this mantra with inhalation and exhalation. While inhaling, you say Baba Nam, but I don't think it's possible to say it while inhaling. While exhaling, you say Kevalam. Thus, Baba Nam, Kevalam. And try to gradually calm your breath so that it becomes slow and calm. This will help to focus deeply. After a few minutes of concentrating on the sound of mantra, only on the sound, we do not even think about the meaning, we move to the meaning of the mantra. We continue to say the mantra in the same way in the mind, but we try to feel its meaning, and all the magic occurs at this stage. When you deeply plunge in the idea, you can feel something that is impossible to feel in the normal state. So, we translate the mantra Baba Nam Kevalam. When I was in the Philippines, there was a description of the meaning of the mantra in the yoga center, translated from English. The infinite love feeling only, or the infinite feeling of love. This is quite a simple translation, so if the expression higher consciousness is difficult and incomprehensible for you, for me it was difficult at first, and I just concentrated on the idea everything that exists is the highest love. Love is everything that exists. And I tried to understand how it can be that love is everywhere in general, how it can be that any event in life consists of love. And I plunged deep into this idea, everything that exists is love. You can also translate everything that exists is peace. There is silence in everything, and even in sound there is silence. Even in movement there is peace, and everything consists of this infinite peace. A slightly more advanced level of translation is everything that exists is higher consciousness. Everything consists of some conscious entity, higher consciousness. And you try to understand how it is that the whole world is higher consciousness, how it is that I am higher consciousness, my words are higher consciousness, my thoughts are higher consciousness. I do not exist actually, there is only higher consciousness, and you try to feel it deeply, deeply on yourself. Also, Baba Nam Kevalam is translated in this way. Baba means the most beloved, Nam means manifestation or name, and Kevalam means only. That is, the spiritual man addressing, if he believes in its existence, to higher power. He says to this higher power, only you are in my mind now, and there is nothing more. I am fully concentrated on you. Do you remember the main principle of meditation? What you think about is what you become. Therefore, we choose some... It is better first to choose a more understandable explanation. For example, absolute bliss is everything that exists, and concentrate on it. concentrate and understand it. This is a meditation technique. You need to meditate about from 10 to 15 minutes on the initial stages on average. Then, over time, if you have desire, you can increase the practice time. Experienced yogis practice twice a day for 30 minutes. If you have absolutely no time, do the meditation for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 1 minute. If you have 39 degrees Celsius temperature, sore throat, but you still can sit down and say, I will not betray my meditation practice. It will do good to me. So I do good for it now too. I sit down and I meditate as much as I can. Practice 2 times a day, in the morning and in the evening. In the morning it is advisable to practice before breakfast, and actually I have never done a meditation after breakfast. I've always meditated before breakfast, so I don't know what to say. If you have food in your stomach and the digestive process goes on, then it will be harder for you to concentrate on the idea, because the body will be busy digesting food. It won't be busy giving all its resources to the brain. In the evening, it is better to meditate before dinner, so you come from work and it's dinner time, and you sit down and meditate as much as you can, for example, for 10 minutes at the beginning. It is also possible in the evening before bedtime, but make sure that you have an empty stomach, so you have eaten at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. Then you can do meditation for the night, and I described what effect it gave me. I began to fall asleep immediately. It will be great if you have such a desirable practice and you wait for it. I remember the first time when I began to meditate, and for me it was real love. I waited for the evening when I began to meditate, and I was in a good mood. Hooray, hooray, the evening will come soon. I will come home and I will meditate. I went to bed in a good mood. I woke up and I was in a good mood from the thought that, wow, I'm going to meditate now, this is cool. And with this approach, you will always succeed in meditation. What does it mean to succeed or not to succeed? Some people say, I can't meditate. I sit down, do all the processes, but nothing happens. You should not get upset. In fact, nothing special should happen. The special thing is that you make an effort. If you sat down and tried to concentrate, and you did not succeed, the mind ran away from one idea to another thought, and you think, oh, I need to go to work, today at work I need to submit the project, or when I forgot to call my client, the client had to transfer money to us, etc. All such sorts of thoughts will take off the mind, and this is okay. It happens to everyone. It happens even to teachers of meditation. It's not like you learned how to meditate and after a month you're 100% in nirvana, flying somewhere. This does not happen. We are all people, we all have brain, and brain has a habit of clinging to what we are interested in. Therefore, it is important to make meditation a very interesting practice and constantly maintain interest. Sit down and think. So, I don't know how to meditate. Even if you have been meditating for 2 years or 5 years, you sit down and think, so I don't know how to meditate. And now I will try to do it. It is the same as you learn to ride a bike. First you have all your attention on how you ride, but then the habit is developed, and this happens automatically. But if your meditation starts automatically, then your thoughts will be walking somewhere. It's like you can already ride a bicycle and think about something else, and when you started, you could not think about anything. It's the same with meditation. It is therefore important to constantly maintain your interest in this practice. If it starts to be performed monotonously, of course it is better than skipping, but it's better to be treated with great interest, then it will really work. I mean, that then you can concentrate well and you can feel something higher. Okay, I already talked too much. One thought goes after another, and this is not a very good example. I hope that this information was useful and interesting for you.